Hi, this is Kim from Lifeful Yoga here with you on Sutra Day. We're covering Yoga Sutras 1.23 through 1.29. Dedication and devotion to something higher than ourselves and the sound of Om. So Yoga Sutra 123 goes on to say that the yoga state referred to in the previous sutras that we've been covering, that this yoga state can be attained through attention and devotion to something beyond ourselves, our best wished for ideal, universal consciousness, the divine, the universe, God, defined and translated in many ways. But ultimately, I think the most universal way that we might translate it is that it is a connection to something beyond our individual self. Yoga Sutra 124 goes on to explain a little bit more about this concept of Ishvara, that this divine or highest wish for consciousness, this something beyond ourselves, is a special, unique consciousness which is free from and untouched by burdens or our karma, or the results of our actions, or the impressions of life in general. And that this is related to the sound of Om. Yoga Sutra 125 goes on to explain that this consciousness has the seed, is the beginning of knowledge, of all-knowing, of omniscience, and that this consciousness, this knowledge is perfect. From that consciousness, Yoga Sutra 1.26 explains that the ancient teachers were taught, because that consciousness is unlimited by time. So from the very beginning, this consciousness taught the great gurus, our great teachers. Yoga Sutra 127 says that the sacred word designating this consciousness is the sound of Om. So sometimes we say that Om, O-M, or A-U-M is the sound of the universe, and it is called pranava. Now, prana is the life force, is the breath of life. So there's a strong connection between prana, pranayama is our breath, prana is the life force, and the sound of Om, and this connection to consciousness that is beyond our individual consciousness. 128 goes on to say a little bit more, the sound of Om, that when it is remembered or offered with meaning, imagining what it is manifesting, is connected to prana. So that this sound of Om should be offered with a connection to a feeling for its meaning, and a feeling for what this sound is manifesting, connection to something beyond ourselves. 129 goes on to explain that from this remembering, or from this offering with meaning, the sound of Om, one's thoughts turn inward to self-knowledge and the removal of obstacles. The next sutras that we'll cover next time go on to explain a little bit about what some of these obstacles are. And if you go back to the very beginning of the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali explains that yoga is the removal of the fluctuations of the mind, the removal of some of these obstacles. And the obstacles are the obstacles to our sense of self knowledge. So this section of the Yoga Sutras, and next week again we'll go on to explore a little bit more about some of the obstacles that we might face, that Patanjali lays out for us. So I'll see you next week at Yoga Sutra Day, and let me know if you have any questions, or if you have anything else you'd like to add. I'd love to communicate back and forth with you about what you're discovering and finding meaning in the Yoga Sutras.